Reinventers. Welcome to Reinventing You. In this video, I want to talk about how we can make the most of the last of 2020 and still do some work for 2021. I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time on Reinventing You, I invite you to subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. I try to do 2 videos a week, and this week almost got away from me before I could get 2 videos done. So I'm doing this on my cell phone, which I don't normally do, but I'm having real difficulties with my camera. You don't want to hear all my excuses. Let me just say, 2020 has been a year, and I wanted to call this week the week from hell, but because the year's been so bad, it was really like, what's the point? The whole thing's been bad. I realized this week that we only have like 2.5 months left of the year. How are we going to make the most of it for our reinventing process? If we plan on reinventing ourselves and making major changes and yet have not done it, instead of done a lot of procrastinating, then what do we do now? How do we take advantage of a change in the year and make the most of the next year? Now, one of the things that I realized this week was that a lot of YouTubers are doing videos about the last few months and 90 days and all this, preparing for 2021, as though when January 1st, 2021 gets here, like everything's going to be magically better. And that's not true. And it reminds me of the reinventing process. In reinventing, you can't just pick a date and say, I'm going to be reinvented by this date. Even though I kind of did that, I suppose, when I retired from the ministry, I had a date, I think it was July 1st of 2018, I think it was. And I said, okay, by that date, I'm going to be, I didn't say I was going to be reinvented, but I just kind of felt like I was going to be a new person just because I had retired early after 20 years in the ministry, and that I was burned out and I was facing, maybe some stupid decision making, or I felt like, I was being called to do something else. All of these things. I guess I thought that was the magical date, but it's like getting married. You can plan, you can be bridezilla, you can do all kinds of crazy things and wonderful things for your wedding, but the point is not the wedding, the point is the marriage. So how can you do what you can with the time you have to prepare for the future? That includes 2021. Make the most of the time, and yet don't beat yourself up about the rest of the year, like, oh my God, it's been so bad, I haven't been able to do anything. I think that the same with reinventing. You are like looking forward to something. You've got to take into consideration things you've done in the past or your past life, and you've got to look forward to the change. And one of the things that I'm dealing with is just really thinking, have I wasted this year? I've done so much procrastinating. I haven't been as creative. I haven't done the things that I really wanted to do. And I just feel very stymied. And I want to use 2021 as an excuse, but maybe it's a character flaw. I don't know. I think that the anxiety over the pandemic and everything that's happened is really starting to get to me. I've seen a couple of places where people are getting divorced, where people are going on anti-anxiety medication. I know that around our house, we are essential oiling like crazy. There's one called the Adaptive, with doTERRA, and we've got it on all the time, or we're taking the little capsule with it because we are incredibly anxious. And this past week has not helped any. Not only am I helping to move the store where I work part-time, we're having to move to a new location. That's happening. At the same time, I'm changing the way we do our online and in-person store. So it's going to be point of sale, POS. So I'm the IT person and I'm doing that. And that's a huge change. And we're going to have to change a lot of the inventory, the numbers. I mean, it's just crazy. In the meantime, we are getting our house that we're going to retire when my husband retires in like less than a year. We're getting that ready to move into, so we're having to move all of the things out of it because our remodeling is crazy what we're having to do with the house. I mean, including moving stairs. And I'm going to eventually have a video about it. It's going to be a while. I've already filmed the before videos, but I'll do some videos during. But So I'm having to move a store, move a house, or move stuff out of the house, figure out, we have a bunch of stuff we've got to get rid of, we got to get rid of that. In the meantime, life, you know, just the end of the year and everything, and it's just like, oh my God. So what I did this week to top off my stress level is I went and gave blood. Now for me, giving blood is a huge out of the box thing for me. I've only given blood 2 other times, and the first time was a failure because I felt really, really faint and they had to stop. The second time I still felt faint because I was trying to do it too fast. I always do it too fast. You squeeze, and anyway, I was doing too fast. And this time I felt faint again, but I did it, and I learned some lessons, but it was a huge thing that was like out of the box for me. It was like out of my comfort zone. And I realized, I think that's very important for us in reinventing and in this time, is that we have got to do something that is out of our comfort zone. So my challenge for you is not to, you know, take a 90-day stroll through the rest of 2020 or have these fabulous goals or do something you know you've been putting off. Do something instead that is out of your comfort zone. Now, don't do something immoral or illegal. Don't put your health at risk. Please continue to social distance and wear masks, all those smart things. But find something that takes you out of your comfort zone so that when you look back, you can say, hey, I did that. I'm so proud of myself. And that's what I'm doing about giving blood. I'm not trying to say, ooh, look at me, I gave blood. I'm just such a superhuman person. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I did something out of my comfort zone, and that is what I'm most proud of. I want you to do the same thing. It could be give blood, but it could be something else. Maybe it's giving money, maybe it's giving time, maybe it's doing something for somebody, maybe it's doing something to bring about a change in your life that you've been putting off or been thinking about. But do something out of your comfort zone. It can be huge, it can be small, but it's got to be something where you get done at the end and you say, hey, I am proud of myself for doing that. This has been really helpful for me, and I hope it's helpful for you too. Now, I have to say, I don't know if you can hear the clicking noise in the background, but that is my cat. I closed the window so he wouldn't bother me, and every time I open the window, he won't come outside. But if I go over there, I know anyway. So I knew he would interrupt the video, so that's what you're hearing, that clicking noise. It's very annoying. Yes, 2020 has been bad for everyone. Some of us have had a worse year than others. Maybe your anxiety has gone up. Maybe you have just really dealt with a whole bunch of crap in your life right now. Maybe it's health reasons, economic reasons. I hope that you have still considered reinventing, considering making changes, and maybe you've thought about it this whole year, but now is the time for you, and that is wonderful. But just remember, just because January 1st is coming doesn't mean everything is going to magically change. You're still going to have to put in the work. You're still going to have to do things that take you out of your comfort zone. So right now is the time to do one thing out of your comfort zone. Be proud of yourself for doing it. And I'm telling you, it will help you do the next thing. I hope your life has not been as crazy as mine is right now. I hope this video is helpful for you. If it has been, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what you plan on doing or have done to get yourself out of your comfort zone. Have a great one.